Olaf's head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Welcome back, Saints Nation. We're about to get ready with our second matchup of the night in regards to Overwatch. A little bit of a rough game, or match number 1 versus Becker, but now our St. Clair College squad is up against the University of Southern Mississippi and another 3-match set here for the NECC Placement Tournament. My name is Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners. Joining me once again, Mr. Colin Moore. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic tonight. You know, we get to see not just one game of Overwatch for St. Clair, but 2 games. You know what they say, Danners? You know what people always like to comment?
What's that?
Lightning never strikes twice, my friends. So we are seeing here St. Clair, they may have fallen against Becker College a little bit earlier, but now University of Southern Mississippi, it's a whole new team. St. Clair, just, you know, I hope they took a little bit of a second after that very, very detrimental match number 1 today, and they get to check out their match against the University of Southern Missouri. It's going to be different, but these teams, they should be ready to go here. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. You could probably hear the sound in the background that we're hopping into the game right away. Game number 1. We're going to have Saints on the left or in the blue. Then, of course, University of Southern Mississippi on the right. And looking forward to this matchup. Colin, with this map specifically, what should we be looking for, if anything specific?
Brawl, 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 baby. We get the Sim TP out of spawn. You already see the Mei. You know, Lucio, Moira, that already means they're going to be up close and personal. I'm curious, though, Southern Missouri, I love the Reinhardt Diva pick. You know, Reinhardt Diva, I think, underutilized and combined with that Mei, you know, can provide so much more spacing, especially if you do get that Mei all eaten by Bruce Goose. You know, I do know Juicebox Hero. He's on my friends list. I've played against him before. He's a considerably good Ryan. You know, we could see him come out against Prince Wada, maybe show his own strengths. Already moving together. It's going to be a battle along the pillars. Reinhardt's on Reinhardt's. Frozen on Juicebox Hero. St. Clair strike first, and they strike hard.
Yeah, they got the player advantage, taking down the big main tank, and they're going to try and chase them all the way to the spawn. We see Apostle leading the way alongside Kale and the rest of the St. Clair squad. Melt them down. Kale going to find himself a double, and this should open the door for St. Clair to take that point. So we'll probably see Imp or somebody try to go over and take care of it right here, right now. Sure enough, Saints are going to get the first capture. Oddly enough, not just in this matchup, can give them the first one, but the first one they've gotten all night, so that's got to be feeling good. Graviton already set and ready to go here for Apostle. He's absolutely on fire, and Prince Wada going to find himself the double. Nice little extra shot there from Apostle, and now the Saints just tear right through this University of Southern Mississippi squad, and that is a fantastic way to start off this matchup.
Okay, Tanners, now this is like what Becker did to St. Clair last time. You see Apostle right up in their face using that Graviton Surge, taking the fight where St. Clair wants it. You look at this rotation through the X-ray, we do see back Southern Mississippi. They're going to the outer side of the map. Reinhardt walled once again. Juicebox Hero falls first. Not good for Southern Mississippi. Look at Saints, they're going to follow up onto 2. Forced onto the rafters, the rest of the squad. They should be going down very shortly. You're going to cross the 50% mark before even finding a third fight here. St. Clair, they're on fire right off the gates.
Yeah, whether they go high or whether they go low, it seems like St. Clair has an answer for it nonetheless. Now they'll have the answer in regards to availables May Blizzard next time they want to try and come through here, and it's a really rough choke point. But granted, at the same time, Shatter available, Beat Drop available, as well as the Deadeye, but unfortunately, the Blizzard is going to be the first thing to come on out here for Available, and unfortunately there for the Southern Mississippi squad, they're going to get melted away. Bruce Goose going to be stuck in Baby Diva for him, but of course, take him down nice and quick considering the spawn room's right there.
And you see St. Clair using only the Mei ult in that fight. You know, perfect wall placement for Available so that the Diva Matrix does not eat up that projectile ultimate. Southern Mississippi going all the way under Imp with the 2-piece with that boot. Oh my lord, this guy is on fire right now. Brilliant plays from the Lucio of St. Clair College. Another one for Imp as the Diva does get frozen, but on the other side, Riot, you know, it's just Lucio's showdown here. Boop Central on the bottom of the map. St. Clair with Imp and Wada still on point. Training on through. Going for the beat now. Shatter gonna get blocked by Juicebox Hero. May ult for the opposite side. Southern Missouri looking to take it back, using 3 ultimates here. Finally gonna get it with the May ult and the Diva Bomb. I say that, but Apostle's on back. He's got 50 charge. He uses his grab, finds Riot. Coalescence pulled for Southern Missouri. Abdul on site. The duel of face between both of these Moiras. You know, Jacob, High Noon gets pulled. We're on a different map here, Danners, but still going strong with St. Clair. They're going to clean up. They're going to burn their ultimates, and St. Clair looked so good on this phase of Busan.
The play was so chaotic that even clicking to go to a player sent me right to the next map, apparently. So that's quite the game there for St. Clair. Still had some ults available, too. We did see Kale pop open the Death Blossom at the very last second just to make sure he even really used it. But the trickling coming in out of Southern Mississippi did not quite get the job done for them, per se, this time by. And a much better start here for St. Clair. Of course, they had Busan for the start of the last match as well. Did not look anything like this. They're absolutely on fire. Let's hope they can keep this going.
You know, St. Clair doing exactly what I wanted them to, taking the fights where they need to take the fights. Southern Mississippi really had no dictation of where those fights were. You see Juicebox Hero now on that Diva. Brusco swapping to the ball. An Echo instead of the May for Elvin Dud. Already, Brusco's frozen by Bailable. Zoning off that Wrecking Ball was huge, and all these angles that Southern Mississippi are finding are just taken aside by the sure aggression of this brawl comp for St. Clair College. Granted, Juicebox Hero does find Apostle in the middle of the whole thing, but it's not enough to stop this cap. Elvin Dud needs to stay alive for here, cannot stagger out anymore. The same goes for Juicebox Hero, who's probably about to lose mech.
Yeah, right around the corner, we do see Elvin Dud go down after Bailable. Nice shots once again. Those icicles take a long time to travel, it feels like, yet he's still picking targets out of the skies. Absolutely love what I'm seeing out of Bailable to start off this series. It's absolutely on point. And one thing to note, oddly enough, considering it being a control map and whatnot, University of Southern Mississippi opted to completely bypass any Lucio play in the slightest. So no matter what, they were getting to that point last, and Saints have been able to completely abuse that fact right from the get-go. Already 30% down. We do have a backdoor attempt actually coming out. Bailable's going to have to try and deal with the Wrecking Ball, who's got nearly there. Good thing Bailable came back. Otherwise, that would have been a sneaky little backdoor cap. But in the meantime, everyone's still battling up front. Elvin Dud going to go down again. And everybody's still nice and healthy here. Healers and supports of the squad doing a good job keeping everybody all topped off. And poor Juicebox Hero is going to be left for dead once again.
I absolutely hate back cap attempts right now against a brawl comp like this because Brusco's, he needs to be showing a little bit more strength on that front line, disrupting this brawl comp, trying to find a straggler for the rest of them to dive onto when you have that Diva and that Echo. But instead, you know, going for that back cap, it's going to leave your team in a 5-on-6, favoring St. Clair. So yeah, you get that initial time. Yeah, you get that cap, but it's only for a few seconds. Juicebox Hero. I thought that was just a shot in the dark, but 2 go down for the Saints. Jacob now plowing on through, and you do have the copy for Elvin Dud. Bailable has to back up now. He's getting thrown on either side. He's going to stall the point a little bit longer, but this should be Southern Mississippi bringing it back off a hero play from Juicebox Hero.
I mean, one thing that I didn't really like there from the St. Clair squad is they're point blank with the spawn, and they whipped out the Blizzard just willy-nilly. Like, imagine if that attack happened. Sure, the Diva Bomb takes 2. But if you had that Blizzard, you could probably turn that still on the point or in the corridor. And unfortunately, the overkill, we've seen it once before from the Saints, and we're going to see it again here in the second matchup. Going to really throw this, or not throw this, but throw the point away, at least for now. Graviton, Death Blossom maybe, not even necessary, but actually the Death Blossom coming out of EG Jacob. Going to try and turn this. Bailable going to fire it right back. He's going to take down EG Jacob with it, nearly taking down Juicebox Hero's mech. The Hammond is no longer, or almost no longer, here in this world, hanging on by a thread with that shield, but he's going to go down this time by Kale, finding the right opportunity to sneak himself in there and really tear through this University of Southern Mississippi squad. And now it's going to be probably to the point where everybody's just going to be trickling in constantly one after another, just trying to make sure that they can touch for overtime. Overtime is ticking down. E.G. Jacob going down after the purple orb comes out from Commanda, but we're still not quite done yet. Emergency Wrecking Ball coming through to try and just do as much disruption as possible, buy some time for his teammates. Juicebox Hero, the next on the chopping block, going to be going down one after another. It's all about who gets an ultimate really at this point. Majilk on the side of Southern Mississippi, popping the rally, trying to get something started. Elvin Dud, and it's not going to be enough. One after another, ulti after ulti, does not matter. St. Clair take game number 1 here on Busan.
It literally looks like night and day from when they were playing against Becker. Now, Becker was a really good team at disrupting St. Clair's positioning and finding stragglers, but Southern Missouri looked just as lost as St. Clair did in their first match today. Not knowing where to take the fights, not knowing how to take the fights, and not following up with their main tank when they do initiate something. It was very separate fights that were taken from Southern Missouri, and St. Clair, they were taking advantage of that wholeheartedly. For example, what I pointed out, that Wrecking Ball going for the back cap, a 5-on-6 on the front line, and St. Clair plows the roam. Bailable leaves halfway through it to go stop that Wrecking Ball. Doesn't even get the capture. So St. Clair, they're on fire right now after Busan. They look good. Night and day from match 1.
Absolutely. There's still a few things, obviously, that need to be toned down. I was referring to the overkill scenario where Bailable whipped out the Blizzard just even though there's really no fight actually happening. But all that can be adjusted with. And granted, the adjustments can happen here because we're going to go to Kings Row for game number 2, much different map style for University of Southern Mississippi. We got to see if they can pull this one together, maybe a better map choice for themselves, and how can they hold this one out? Unlike, or actually not unlike, we do have a substitution again. So we've seen it happen in Becker College where it seems like each map pick a certain support came in. It might be the same situation this time by Jilk going to be switched out, I believe, for Hidden Squid on the side of University of Southern Mississippi. So maybe even the player swap could be what they need moving forward into this next matchup.
It could be an Ana player. You know, I saw Majilk playing that Brig. You know, I think they were playing the... No, it was Riot that was playing the Lucio. So you might want to be pairing up a Lucio with an Ana for a map like Kings Row. Allows you to get that nano boost. Allows you to be a little bit more aggressive through the chokes as well. And if you're really looking at the way St. Clair's playing it, if they pick that Mei again, you know, that Ana is going to provide a little bit more focus fire for that player, maybe peeking on the sides of the walls to try to just stay alive a little bit longer. Now, I do have to say, if they're going to go for that Rhine mirror, I can try to explain it as best as I can. But on Busan here, you take this pencil. You saw a lot of time that St. Clair was making sure that they would line up the wall with the Reinhardt here and the rest of the team here. Now, I want to see the side of Southern Missouri try to work more as a one cohesive brawl so that when that Bay wall comes in, they're either all on this side or they're all on this side. They cannot be split up on one side or the other, or Juicebox here is just going to be punished. Now, I do hear them going into game, Danners, so let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into game 2, which is going to be Kings Row. Let's see what these teams have to offer. You already see St. Clair College on the left side, Southern Missouri on the right side. St. Clair up 1-0. And if you guys have forgotten, in this tournament for the NCEE, it is going to be all 3 maps played no matter what. So we will see a map 3 even if St. Clair take this.
Absolutely. Of course, this tournament or these matches more so for seeding for when the actual season does get underway, which I believe actually starts next week or the week after. So it's not going to be too much longer before we see some consistent Overwatch action here on the Saints channel. And looking forward to that new season, of course. Not only is there NECC, but there's still, I believe, NACE, and I think UCEA is still doing some matches as well. So we'll get all the Overwatch once again, get to see this new squad and how they set up with this new squad or with this new team. And is that the Widowmaker? Available?
Ooh, you know, I know Available. You know, I played on a team with him. I know what he has to offer. Let's see if he is hot on the trail of Southern Missouri here. He is going to be setting up in the back of the map. Look for some heads through a statue, but look at this rotation from Southern Missouri. You're going to try to deny Available of as much sightline as you can, but as they pour out here, You have to make sure that you're tight. Bailable misses the first one. He's gonna have to relocate. Full rotation can be chased by St. Clair. I don't like this at all. You remember what Becker did to them. They backed up into the statue when St. Clair did the exact same setup. You don't want St. Clair to go for that chase because they might be flipped on its head.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, there, Bailable was looking like he was looking for somebody on the side, maybe Elvindud, to pick up the Echo, similar to what he did in the last game. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case, but he's still going to manage to get some value. He finds the new support just subbed in. Hidden Squid gets taken down. That being said, though, it's not going to deter this Southern Mississippi squad. They're going to try and take the high ground, ring around the rosy. Can they make this work? Any ninja support switching to Widowmaker? Not today. Hidden Squid actually going to go down once again. Apostle going to get credited with that one. And Hidden Squid off to a rough start here in the second game.
Definitely having a little bit of a tough time. I thought the Ana would come out, but the Moira only at 70% after 2 fights now. They're backed into Hotel. Getting some progression. Kale almost going down. Nice sidestep with the Wraith to finish up on that. A nice 3-piece. You look at St. Clair. They're coming up on a Coalescence. To grab Prince Wada on the brink of a shatter. And the same thing for the side of Southern Mississippi. Coming up on the Coalescence. A high noon. But halfway to both of those tank calls. So falling behind in the take ultimates here.
Yeah, we'll probably see that Coalescence come up here from Commando. Sure enough, that's going to be the case right through that corridor. Prince Wada charging on through with the rest of the squad as well. While in the meantime, Bailable has himself basically a free angle to try and take as many shots as possible. Also going to be the first casualty. The big shatter coming out here from Juicebox Hero, keeping his team in line alongside a massive Deadeye. 5 players going down. What a way to completely flip that fight. Huge play out of EG Jacob.
Now, I have to say, that is everything for Southern Mississippi. So unfortunate for St. Clair. Prince Wada had a smart idea. You know, he pulled the fight over into Hotel. You know, he baited Juicebox to follow him and left the backline open for available to find not just 1, but 2 picks there. Luckily, that stun came out from Juicebox here onto Prince Wada, and that high noon follow-up destroyed St. Clair, else they probably would have lost that fight now. Trying to stop him and choke. They have Graf here. Going right into it. Not wasting any time. The beat's pulled on the other side. They already lose Bruce Coos. And this is Southern Mississippi just trying to stay alive here. Juicebox here pulls Shatter. Takes down Apostle. Zarya's gone on either side. Prince Wada with a double pin. And a Shatter of his own to keep them alive here. St. Clair College are just breathing different air here.
Absolutely brutal stuff coming out from both sides. A bit of a brawl like you were expecting. Just crazy stuff out of both of these teams. Juicebox Hero with that huge play, of course, to turn that that point into their favor, and then a very close back and forth, I would say. But Saints are going to be able to at least get it this time by. Going to be, of course, on the defensive side of things, but they have a lot of ults ready to go here. Got 3 of them good to go.
Speed from Imp, denied right now from the grab, but Death Blossom from Kale with the Coalescence to back it up. Ditz takes down the Lucio of Southern Mississippi. Riot met with Imp as well, so both Lucios out of play is going to take down a lot of speed for the tempo of this fight. But already losing Juicebox here should be the follow-through for St. Clair College. Looking to get rid of the charge on the Zarya with the backup of Prince Wada on this Ryan. The respawns are going to come through. St. Clair has to back up here. Bailable. Oh, headhunting. Oh, Riot has to be careful here. Almost losing their head, but in fact, just going to lose a little bit to the body. St. Clair setting up for the choke once again, Danners.
Entering up the Coalescence is going to come around the other side. This is going to be Elvindud coming through with the Death Blossom for himself, and it's going to take down Imp, it's going to take down Apostle, and it looks like Squid's going to turn things around with his own Coalescence to take down Prince Wada. This is going to be the opportunity that the University of Southern Missouri, or Mississippi, you got me saying Missouri now too, but that's the kind of thing that they were looking. I think so, a couple times. We'll have to see though. All good nonetheless. But yeah, this is the kind of breakout that they needed, and it's going to be able to push that cart much further into the street phase, almost borderline on this second checkpoint. So this is exactly what they were looking for.
Very hero ultimates right now coming up from Southern Mississippi, keeping St. Clair off of it. So a little bit of unpracticed aggression from St. Clair, catching them off guard quite a bit. Big shatter from Wada, stunned off from the slam, CC to death. And Juicebox Hero is going to take his life. Bailable finding one in the midst of it. The beat pulled for Southern Mississippi just to make sure that they can take this down. Kale rates away, but he is taken out. Streets phase is over for Southern Mississippi, and still 2 2 minutes and 50 seconds left after that to make sure that they get this last point checked. You look at St. Clair, Grav, and Death Blossom compared to Southern Mississippi. You have that Shatter, Coalescence. You might be looking for an aggressive push now for Southern Mississippi on the back of that Coalescence.
It definitely makes sense here, and then we gotta watch out for that Shatter. It doesn't matter if Saints have the ability, if they just get shattered down, and that very well might have been the case here. Kale has not been able to use his Death Blossom, but to be honest, he doesn't necessarily need to even fire it out. It's all up to TG Jacob and Hidden Squid to try and even defend this, and they're not going to opt to do so. They're going to run away in this situation. So with just the Grav being used from Apostle, Saints are able to defend, and they hang on to even more utility to probably keep this defense strong.
You know, there's an old saying that you used to have, is that if you're beating somebody knowingly, you know, the most you do is touch the spawn and come back with your aggression if you find the pick. St. Clair, not over-aggressive, which I do like, so they are a little bit tamed right now in their fights, not going for that full push. But you do see the Coalescence from Commanda pulled very, very early in this to initiate. Shatter going to be blocked by Juicebox Hero, but still players dropping on both sides. Now Apostle, very highly charged, is going to have the backup from their team to find 2 picks. And the finish from St. Clair is going to send Southern Mississippi back into their spawn. You have Grav and High Noon. You saw what Jacob could do with the High Noon last time. Will they be able to do it again here? That's the question.
And Grid, at least the setup, though, was not necessarily ready now, because it was off of the Shatter of Juicebox Hero. Granted, though, it's right around the corner, and it's going to get messy. We have ourselves the Grav coming out, but Pertwada trying to defend, and actually double dead-eye, triple hat, or double hat trick, rather, from both of these McCrees, and EG Jacob going to find bailable as well. What a chain of events here to push Saints right off the cart, forced to respawn. And actually, they only have Kale's Death Blossom to move forward here. Meanwhile, defensively, University of Southern Mississippi might not be in a bad position. Coalescence is ready. The beat drop is going to be right around the corner from Riot as well. So even if Kale hops on in, as long as Lucio doesn't get stunned, I think it will be good for them. They're going to get right in the middle of everything. Here comes the beat drop. He's not going to get a single kill with that Death Blossom, which is exactly what I was worried about. Graviton is available, though. Who's here to follow up, however? Is anybody going to be able to do anything? It's going to be Coalescence battles coming out here. Commanda did get it again for the second time, but it's going to be another Death Blossom coming out in the background. Available, going to shut that down, but a lot of damage is already done. Amp and Commanda support line goes down. Kale is here. Big Shatter, of course, going to make things really messy. And now Bailable goes down once again. Kale is in the midst of things. Can somebody hang on to this emergency wrecking ball? Knocks 2 off. Amp is going huge with a massive boop off the stage, and that completely swung that fight.
Imp woke up this morning. He chose violence. Oh my. That boop off of the pile drive. Very well coordinated from the Wrecking Ball and the Lucio. Love to see it from St. Clair College. They're not going to let that third cap come on for Kings Row's phases. Instead, they're going to stop them at 66 meters into that third phase. You see it right on your screen. That's how far St. Clair have to push it to win Kings Row. Now, St. Clair, they did have an excellent hold for point 1, Danners, but that High Noon that came out for Jacob on even both sides, I mean, I'm glad we got both Cowboys telling the time here, because I might be lost without it. And Jacob, he's been on fire. Bailable, he's been on fire as well. We just need to see if St. Clair even need those ultimates. Are they going to keep dominating this first point with sheer aggression like we've been seeing?
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can take care of at least this first one, but even if they do take care of it, that's still a long way that they have to go in order to take this second game and officially get themselves, the 2-0 fifth is a best of 3, but of course not a best of 3. We're still going to be doing game 3 no matter the result. But looking at the composition coming out here from St. Clair, I see 2 snipers. And this is interesting.
Well, I mean, you got Kale playing on Hanzo. It's just spam central right now, especially with that buff coming out to the Storm Arrow. It's going to provide a lot of damage on a Juicebox Hero's shield. Or even if you get to the backline, I mean, you can spam down that Reinhardt from behind. Widowmaker available. He's been left wide open, uncontested quite a bit, but it looks like he is just going to go for that early pick, try to spot out some players, but he swaps to that McCree. I like the setup from Southern Mississippi. Looks like they're going to initiate from Hotel. In fact, St. Clair doesn't even care. They're going to push on through. Going to force the rotation from Southern Mississippi. Going to all the way to the high ground. Full rotation. Forcing Southern Mississippi in a weird angle. They're going to be chasing. This is not what you want to see from Mississippi. In fact, Juicebox here already down. St. Clair the turntables here, and they're back on the front foot of Southern Mississippi. They're back on respawn. St. Clair's gonna cap point 1 in dominant fashion.
That was absolutely brutal, and I question the maneuver to try and actually meet St. Clair up there. There's a lot of players on the side of St. Clair who love it if you just line up in a nice narrow corridor. You mean my usually difficult sniper shots? I just have to shoot straight and I'll probably hit at least something? Thank you very much. Kale is going to be doing a ton of damage. Bailable is on the board alongside Prince Wada and the rest of the St. Clair squad. Like, why would you take that battle is boggling my mind here. We now see Bailable. Deadeye takes out the fellow McCree. EG Jacob goes down. Apostle going to take down Bruce Goose as well. Fully charged here for Apostle. Oh. Not only is he super tanky, he's doing a ton of damage as well. Juicebox Hero not going to be long for this world. And now this Graviton's going to be ready for the next battle, and it's going to make things even worse for the side of the University of Southern Mississippi. We got Grav Dragon, we have Shatter, and all that's available is probably going to be a Shatter and a Coalescence on the side of Southern Mississippi.
I have to say, one of the most fun heroes to play is Zarya when you're full charge, and Apostle showing exactly why they're going to take this fight so early here once again. But going down to Jacob, the Grav Dragons, doesn't even care if your Zarya goes down. The perfect follow through from that combination. The Hanzo Dragon Strike, the Zarya Grav. St. Clair haven't even taken a fight on the point, and they're already basically 3/4 of the way to the second point cap. I'm sitting down on the point.
And there's going to be another one. Riot's going to go down basically as soon as he spawns after Bailable finds the kill onto him. And now, yeah, we're still not even done street phase technically, but Southern Mississippi is stuck in their spawn. We're finally going to get that second checkpoint, so we're all tied up in regards to it being 2-2. And sure, we do have Death Blossom, we do have a Deadeye available here for EG Jacob and the rest of Southern Mississippi. Bailable going to catch himself a little bit off guard as he takes his own tumble off the side. I know I've definitely done that a few times on this map, and it's hella embarrassing when it does happen. So a reset is probably going to be in order here for St. Clair. Try and maybe get a couple ultimates while you can. Imp has that beat drop available, but the rest of the Saints are probably going to drop very shortly unless they can get some scraps here, as Elvin Dude does go down after getting Commanda.
A big shutdown onto Elvin Does, gonna force that Death Blossom away. I'm sure they were going for that Grav combo with the Death Blossom. Still gonna combine it, and on the flank, actually they caught out Jacob. They hit him with the stun, and he didn't even get to put any damage in, so they used the Grav with no follow-up. They know that McCree's behind him. Big shatter from Juicebox Hero, and the Death Blossom for the cherry on top, Danners. Southern Mississippi just flipped this fight on its head.
That's exactly what they were looking for. Turn the corner, blast them with the Shatter. That got at least 3 of the members of St. Clair, which, of course, like you said, completely flipped it. Any sort of momentum St. Clair had in that situation goes away. But now they can do the same. Apostle is going to be knocking on the door of another Grav. We do have Kale ready with the Dragon Strike. And we do have Prince Wada with the Shatter. That is going to be Deadeye coming out here for EG Jacob, but I don't think it's going to find any effectiveness. That's a good stun, though. Elvin Dude goes down, just sharking around, trying to find himself a shot, and he's going to get himself taken down. Bailable with a Deadeye for himself, going to find Bruce Goose. He's got himself a triple kill going here, finding all the eliminations so far in this fight until Imp takes that one, and they're going to be able to push this forward. They didn't use any of their resources, really, except just basic abilities.
Wow, St. Clair just brought that on back. You have both support ults for Southern Mississippi to contest this. But 3.5 minutes, Danners. You have to just think that it's a matter of time just before Saints cap this. The Grav combo with the Dragons beat to counter it. Are they going to make it out in time? They do, with the speed as well from Riot. So nothing from the Grav Dragons. In fact, Bailable is going to go down on the other side. Prince Wada with a large and in-charge Shatter. And everybody's going to fall for Southern Mississippi. You only have 2 tanks and a Moira. Juicebox Hero in a brawl, swinging for his Shatters here. In fact, Prince Wada goes for the block. Kale's going to take out that Moira. Last minute Grav. Everybody's on point. St. Clair's going to take King's Row. And a very dominant show.
Yeah, definitely a good showing there for St. Clair. Still had so much time on the time bank as well. But we're able to combo everything up exactly what they needed to. Kale going to get play of the games. Has got to be one of those those Grav Dragons like we were talking about. That last one didn't necessarily get the kills they were looking for, but this one right here on the corner was absolutely brutal. It's the kind of one you dream about. Guaranteed play of the game, basically, when that happens. And finding up a cleanup kill onto Elvin Dud as well. So beautifully done there for St. Clair. A much better night and day difference between the matches here tonight. And I'm glad that's the first one that we saw versus Becker did not completely shake them off their game. And granted, we still do have another game as well. So they have the possibility in this placement tournament to go maybe 3 wins, 3 losses. So probably get seated right in the middle, which, to be honest, not bad for a squad that is just brand new to each other for the most part in this in the start of the season.
Well, one thing that I loved about St. Clair is that they were just full-fledged aggression there. They were understanding the situation they were in. They're following up with it, and they were just pushing Southern Missouri to the most extent that St. Clair could bring them. And ultimately, when you had Southern Missouri all the way back in the spawn, well pushing second point, that was best case scenario for Imp. I mean, I don't think Imp saw a single fight while pushing that payload on second point. So he really didn't have to worry about too much there. He was able to just lightly toss that into the next checkpoint. And St. Clair right here, like you said, night and day. I mean, what was I talking about after that boost on? They are taking the fights where they want the fights to be taken. Now, you look at Southern Mississippi on the counterpart here. Southern Mississippi are doing a really good job at taking some very well-aggressed fights. Like, for example, Juicebox Hero hitting the shatters that he needs to with the follow-up from their High Noons, the follow-up from their Death Blossoms. It's just when they don't have their ultimates, St. Clair are dominating the no ult fights, as you could say in terms, I guess. And when you don't have those ultimates, St. Clair are just winning it out, and that's why they're dominating this fight.
It was nice to see that even though there's a couple of those fights there where they had ultimates available, but they just opted, I'm just trusting my gun skill. And we did see opportunities like that where Bailable, he did actually pop off on that McCree, especially near the end. I think he found himself a triple, maybe a quad, just by purely with his flashbang stun and his gunfighting skill by itself. No Deadeye necessary, no wombo combos needed, but taking it down. Now, one thing to note as we hop into Rialto again for game number 3. First off, we're going to be switching sides here, so it's going to be the University of South Mississippi on the blue. Saints are going to be in the yellow this time by, and we have another substitution once again. Hidden Squid after a bit of a rough game number 2, getting taken back out. Majilk's back in.
Okay, so Majil coming back in, a little bit interesting. Like we said before, you know, playing that brig. Might be seeing a different composition here. Now, one thing I want to talk about, you say wombo combos here. Now, you see E.G. Jacob hits his wombo, Bailable hits his wombo, you know, double High Noons, one after the other. These guys are taking wombology right now. They're ready to bring it all. They're ready to strike when the clock hits noon. I wonder if they're both gonna pull out that McCree on this on Rialto as well, because if they do, might be seeing another duel of the noons. In fact, I do see Bailable through the wall. He's on that Widowmaker's going for those early picks. You know, Rialto, very strong Widow map, but Elvin Dud on that Pharah. Will that be enough to stop it? I thought Bailable got a pick already, but it was just a Venom Mine. He's hunting for this Pharah. Not going to land the shots. In fact, just going to pepper away at this ball with Prince Wada.
It's going to be a little bit rough here for Elvin Dud. Of course, switching over to the Pharah this time by, but yet it's a bit of a hard sell. But E.G. Jacob, if you have the backup of a fellow Widowmaker to take care of the sniper, it could be huge. And actually, Juicebox Hero knocks away Apostle Command goes down. Nice little boop. Imp has probably got 7 of those so far today, just knocking people off the side. Juicebox Hero not long for this world, but at the same time, Saints aren't really going to get much progression here on this cart. Still just kind of back and forth sniping, but actually, there we go, Widowmaker shots coming out from Bailable to take care of Elvin Dud, and now the back and forth kind of continues.
Finds the head of that Pharah eventually. Wada on this Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball Hog, staple to Rialto. Such a strong combination. I do like the Diva, but you know, it's either or. It's really just potential of Hog has a really big carry potential. Diva, a lot more team play. Prince Wada gets the better of Juicebox Hero off the map. Finding another environmental kill. St. Clair just knocking Southern Mississippi back to their spawn. Available another Widowmaker shot now as E.G. Jacob takes the duel. St. Clair just pushing this as far as they can without contention. Mines on the bridge, gonna keep them down. Diva Bomb pulled with the mines of Juicebox Hero. but Diva Bomb only goes for good for 1. And St. Clair, they're still pushing this cart in here. They're looking for the cap. They want it. In fact, you might see a couple... I was going to say you might see a couple ultimates pulled, but St. Clair, they all die.
And going to opt to reset in this situation. And it's looking a little bit rough now for Command. I kind of got caught out of dodge. Nice little attempt to save. He does keep himself alive. Oh, finally does go down. Solid attempt from St. Clair, but they're going to have to kind of reboot now after that's play. Be able to look and maybe catch the Pharah of Elven Dud off guard, but not going to be the case. Prince Wada tucked away, but we do have, of course, wall hacks coming out here for E.G. Jacob for at least a moment. Where is Apostle going? All the way up to the top here with that Roadhog. Nearly has whole hog available. Able to push everybody around while doing a bunch of damage, of course. And E.G. Jacob going to find the better available, but at least it's going to be the refrag coming out here from Prince Wada. So at least it's the 1-for-1. That's going to be a little bit rough there for Majil. The Mercy goes down, big heals off. And this is going to be a little bit rough. Nice hook there from Apostle as well. Takes care of Riot. It's only a matter of time before Jukebox Hero goes down. And Saint's going to be able to get point 1.
The fact that you have this hog, you're just able to push on past the front line, find those supports, hook them, take them down. Good stall here from Bruce Goose and Co, but they're still going to get the cap off of this whole hog. Going to zone them away. E.G. Jacob does get a 2-piece, but just wasn't enough because Apostle getting that whole hog did the job. And, you know, St. Clair starting to fall at this line of scrimmage here, going to the second. Still holding a little bit strong to the sense. Successful hook onto Bruce Goose, but still going to stay in mech as they do get out.
Yeah, Saints need to reset at this point. They feel like they're just kind of scrapping, which for the most part in the match has been working to a decent level, but it would just be so much better just regroup and get on with it. We're going to see Wada, yes, he can do his own thing. He's Wrecking Ball. He's going to make sure that the Widowmaker's life is a living hell, and Baleball actually going to help him finish the job there. Now Wada in a bit of a rough spot as well, but he's going to find actually the delayed mind kill coming out onto Majil. Getting him off the place so quickly is absolutely brutal. Diva Bomb is more of a delayed than anything, and then get pulled aside as well. We do have the sound barrier as well as the Dragon Strike. Hello, Barrage, though. It does take Kale down, so a rather critical DPS kill coming out for Elven Dud. Whole hog once again here for Apostle. Push everybody away from the point. Let St. Clair get some distance if they are back to get it. And some fancy footwork coming out here from Riot, but it's only a matter of time before you go down there. Even Mech looking back and forth and take it away.
Also look to stagger out that Diva, but getting that mech back really big. A shot in the dark with that hook's gonna land on a Widowmaker, but the Diva Matrix keeps the Widow alive. You do have Dragon Strike as along with Nano and Walls, so you might look to combo the Walls with this Dragon Strike, try to catch a few stragglers, and there you have it. Diva goes out. Dragon Strike's gonna find nothing so far, but your team is gonna clean up the rest of them. Zones off this Ana back into the alley. Sleep is only good for a nap, as it is Prince Wada with the slam to finish off Riot. We did switch off that Lucio back to an Ana now, so might be looking for a few purples onto that hog, which is not a bad idea for this squad. See Commander gonna use Nano a little bit early, but trying to clean up this ball as fast as they can.
Yeah, just so much stalling coming out here from Juicebox Hero, and the fact that it forced to the Nano Boost as well is kind of brutal. That was a nice little sleep there coming out from Riot. That could have been a little bit rough for Prince Wada. He's going to jump right on in. Mine's in place. Going to really interfere with E.G. Jacob, but not enough to take him down. There we go. Finally bowls over the fellow Wrecking Ball. And now it's up to the rest of the Saints to try and get through this, considering both Imp and I think Apostle were down for at least a moment. A nice sleep out of the skies. Huge sleep there for Commanda. Finished the job. Nice shot. Completely negating
Mercy's going for the res. Mercy goes for the res, and they're gonna get the res as well. Elven Dud back into this fight. Bruce Goose goes for the backline, takes not only the Widowmaker but the Ana as well, and that res should not have happened for St. Clair. They should have realized it, stopped it in its tracks, and followed up with the rest. They got once again a little bit ahead of themselves.
They're feeling
be stopped on point 2 here. You look at this, Danners. You got Nano walls pulled already, so Jacob with those walls should delay St. Clair to the 15, maybe 10-second marker to start their attack. A big pick from Apostle. Once again, Elven Dud going down early. No respawn should be here. No res for the Mercy. In fact, St. Clair might actually, off of this, have a very strong chance of capping this point.
And Baleable switching over to the Tracer as well, has the mobility to get around some of these snipers, and it's going to be nice. Takes care of EG Jacob like it's nobody's business, is going to eventually go down, but the rest of the St. Clair squad are here and near the point. Apostle hanging on by a thread, has Whole Hog available. I don't think Riot is available to try and shut this down until it's a little bit too little too late. So Saints are going to get at least a little bit of distance. Nice evasive maneuver there from Elvin Dud and hanging on by a thread. Riot keeping them in the game, but eventually Prince Wada, actually of all people, going to take the bird out of the skies and get the kill there. But you can just see just back and forth the plays coming out, but until then, it looks like Southern Mississippi do find the final opportunity to strike gold and shut down the attack of St. Clair.
That is the best hold I've seen from Southern Mississippi all game. And I mean, better late than never. You know, third time's a charm here. You're on Rialto. First point was a given for Saints. They did a good job at zoning Southern Mississippi back to their spawn. Second point here, Southern Mississippi really shut it down with that Pharah play. I mean, countless times Elvin Dud was caught off guard, but it wasn't just the Pharah there. Bruscus with the follow-ups to those missiles, and Juicebox Hero able to get the displacements with your grapple, this pile drives to toss them up. There's just such good team coordination on point number 2 that we haven't seen on Kings Row or Busan yet. So really well done for Southern Mississippi to find them. This is doable. I mean, they just have to push 2 points.
Yeah, not bad in the slightest. It's not like you're trying to push into that absolute stronghold of the third point. It's not that bad in the slightest. Like you're saying, a fantastic hold from the University of Southern Mississippi. Now we have to see if the Saints can make the adjustments necessary compared to match number 1 to see if they can hang on to this place just a little bit stronger. If they have themselves a kill back onto the Hanzo and Baleable back onto the McCree, so it's going to be some comfort picks, but we're going to have a rather squishy squad coming out here from the side of Southern Mississippi. We're trying snipers, we're trying picks with Elvidude's Tracer, and Juicebox Hero just going to sack himself actually to take out Apostle, which, considering they have defenders or attackers advantage in this situation, might not be a bad thing.
No, Captain always goes down with their ship. You know, a Captain being Juicebox Hero right now. Apostle sent back to spawn. Big stun fan the hammer from Baleable. Take down Alvin Dud. Catches that Tracer with its back turn. And St. Clair just going for a brawl with a slightly spam composition with this Hanzo. Gale does a good job at kiting away from the pile driver. So Juicebox Hero not really getting a whole lot of displacement. In fact, Majil going to get the res Imp with another boop. I was going to say Southern Mississippi might have something going for them, but Juicebox Hero back off the map again. You are 1 for 1. In fact, Baleable goes down. It's going to be a tank traded for a DPS. St. Clair going for the Hog back up with it, so the hook to try to take the D.Va away from the fight is really big for St. Clair to play off of. They're holding this line of scrimmage very, very well.
Yeah, nice little Biotic Nade actually coming out here from Commando to take care of Elvin Dude. You don't usually see the Ana take down a Tracer, but nicely done there. Baleable going to find EG Jacob as well. Bit of a brawl now in this situation. We do have Riot, has a Transcendence available. Going to try and keep everybody topped off as they continue, try and push this around, but Apostle with the hook and the rest of the St. Clair squad just battering this Southern Mississippi squad back and forth to the point where it's almost hard to follow. And the rest of the Saints are chasing forward. Baleable with another finishing blow. Can they find the Reaper? Not quite going to find Elvin Dude. But Elvin Dude forced to switch again. Going to make things a little bit difficult here. And Imp playing with my heart. I know he can get away with that just fine, but it still makes me nervous every time.
Man, I love that play from the Saints. You had the rest of the team focusing down the D.Va, trying to get back to the mech, and Prince Wada drops his shatter on the front line. Baleable in the flank. High Noon's only good for 1, but still telling time to a telltale journey. As he does make his way to that back line, finds a pick. And I mean, Riot trades him out, but that's a player in your back line. He shouldn't be in there anyways, so only cleaning up the garbage as that would be for this fight. You do see Prince Wada cleaning up that front line, traded out from Elvin Dud. Fossil just barely trying to get out, and Saints, they're going to finally be giving up the corner, Danners, as it is Southern Mississippi finding a successful break on this defense.
Oh, that dragon shot kind of felt like a panic ult if I ever seen it, just trying to slow things down. There was absolutely nothing that could have really followed things up. So the rest of the Saints going to fall back to exactly where this first checkpoint would finish at, right around the corner. We do see the hook. Majilk went down. Baleable shoots her out of the skies, and that's exactly what they need. The D.Va mech is gone in this situation as well, so a little bit of that front line taken away As this cart, it's getting there, getting closer and closer, but could we have ourselves a nanoed whole hog? That's exactly what we're going to get as Apostle charges on through. It's surprising how much damage that thing does. Takes care of it like it's nobody's business. And actually, the University of Southern Mississippi, they have less than 45 seconds left to actually get this first checkpoint.
And Apostle setting up for a hook off the map. This study's just going to scare him back a little bit, back up to the front line. You have Shatter from Prince Wada. That's about it. Kale's getting close to a Dragon Strike, but still 30% to that. In fact, you have a Dragon Strike, Death Blossom, Diva Bomb, and Transcendence for Southern Mississippi. Big Shatter. Alvin does down. Transcendence has to be forced, but through the wreckage, E.G. Jacob gets a headshot from Bailable. It is going to be a Diva Bomb trading out for DPS. Alvin Dunn in the backline. Big plays from Southern Mississippi. Breaking through this defense. You see Bruscu's finding Bailable. Alvin Dunn taking down Apostle. You're down a tank and another DPS. Alvin Dunn in the backline. Going to pull Death Blossom. Finish off the three of them. Southern Mississippi should be able to cap this.
Absolutely. After the finishing blow with that Death Blossom, they're going to be able to get this first checkpoint. And now this is where things get scary. 2 minutes, 30 seconds is enough time to actually make it to that midsection of the second point. And we're going to have to see Saints probably get somewhat aggressive with their defense here to try and just keep sending them off over and over again with the respawns. Bailable going to get caught out. The Sneaky Dragon coming out of E.G. Jacob, making things a little bit worse for wear for the Saints squad. Kale going to find one, however, and a good shot for himself onto Elvin Dunn, but Elvin Dunn's going to get put right back into this game as Kale goes down, does have the Dragon Strike available to possibly try to whip it from the spawn if he does feel like his team is threatened. But I was just ripping on him for a panic ult earlier. I probably wouldn't want to do that unless you know for sure.
Oh.
Shatter right around the corner. What is going on here?
Valk just barely missing out on a death from Prince Wada. Almost getting caught out. Majil. Big boop into the backline. Apostle going to take advantage of this. Going to pull his whole hog and dismantle the rest of this team with the High Noon to help out. It does get rid of Brusco's back into the Diva. Or Baby Diva form. He's going to force them off the map because he didn't want to get staggered out. Oh! Hook onto E.G. Jacob, successfully finding that kill. Back to the spawn. A minute 16 left. You have Transcendence. You're coming up on another Dragon, another Diva Bomb, and you're halfway to a Death Blossom and your Mines. Southern Mississippi, I mean, it's not over till the Fat Lady sings.
Absolutely.
But right now, she's doing her vocal warm-ups.
Without question. Now, I feel like it's going to be a matter of how can they bait out this Transcendence. If they could blow up Riot to the point where he has to use it just for himself, this Dragon Strike could, in theory, then just do absolute wonders. Take everybody off the point or even just get some eliminations. That's not what you want to see, though. Bailable goes down. It's going to be the Dragon Strike coming out, and it's more of a defensive ulti than anything. And E.G. Jacob does the exact same thing. Fires aside, gets one. Actually, Commando does go down. Of course, Ana doesn't exactly have the greatest mobility here in the world. Is going to go down. Apostle going to be short the follow. It's going to be emergency tracer time here for Bailable. Can he get there in time? It's going to actually look like they're going to get right onto the point itself before anything really happens here. No ultimates available for St. Clair. They have to do this on pure gun skill alone.
Oh, almost catching Prince Wada with that boop. Kale in the backline. You do have the Transcendence pulled from Riot as well, so you're going to keep the rest of the team up. A 5-on-5 here. Death Blossom in the backline takes out Commander and Imp. No supports. They step off the cart. St. Clair with the last minute C9. But they are still going to go 2-1 against Southern Mississippi. A big improvement from match 1 that we did see today.
Absolutely, and at that very ending there, it was just all basically onto Prince Wada. He was the only one there who could have touched it, and of course, he probably expected he had teammates in that situation, but they probably got taken down in the meantime. So a solid play there coming out of the University of Southern Mississippi to get themselves at least 1 point here on the board and finishing this off in 2-1 fashion. If this were a best of 3, of course, St. Clair wins the day, but of course, most of these matches are in regards to seeding, so every win counts, but still, we got 2. I can't complain. That was still a fantastic match, and I probably popped off enough to make my wife upset in regards to waking my son up, but it's definitely worth it with matches like these.
I do have to say that St. Clair, you know, a little bit of improvement from match 1 to match 2, especially with their communication on initiations. Now, one thing I do want to see is ultimate usage kind of push up in the rest of the season. You know, still in my books, I think they have a lot to work on, especially considering the amount of success they had from map 1 and map 2. Looked like it was falling off with a little bit of over aggression in map 3, so a little bit ahead of themselves. So they have to learn how to pace themselves a little bit better. Considering, I mean, I have to say on Rialto for that attack, having the Diva Wrecking Ball a lot better than having that Reinhardt Zarya, in the sense that you're able to displace as much as Juicebox Hero was, and setting up their teammate for his teammates for quite a bit of success. And you know, I did like the switch to Roadhog off that Zarya for Apostle. He was finding a lot of picks out in the dark, and his whole hogs were zoning the point very well, as well as finding picks, you know, against the wall when he could. And it just comes down to it that I think St. Clair was getting a little bit over aggressive with their composition, and when you put it bare bones on Rialto, Southern Mississippi did exactly what they should have with the given composition, and they take that map 3 against St. Clair with a close one. It did go to overtime, but did look good from them. A lot better than maps 1 and map 2.
Yeah, both teams just got warmed up and then put on a show nonetheless. I definitely look forward to seeing what both of these teams can do going into the actual NECC season, which, if I'm looking at this correctly, starts on the 11th. So not much longer here. February 11th, the season begins, and a whole chaos of having one match at least every day of the week here for the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team. And speaking of next matches coming up, I do want to quickly talk about a couple of them. We do have, I don't have the graphic ready, unfortunately, so you're just going to trust me on this one. But starting 8 o'clock tomorrow, Monday, we return for some League of Legends for the Upsurge Minor League. Going to be an interesting one, considering it's first off, it's the amateur scene compared to strictly collegiate. So you never know what kind of opponents we're going up against, but we did win our first week, so I'm looking forward to see where they go into game 2, or week 2 rather. And then we have a double header of CCL Call of Duty, as that's the actual season opener for them. Last week we had a kickoff tournament. Now this one's for all the marbles. Call of Duty 8 o'clock and 9:30 respectively. Wednesday, more League of Legends collegiate action up against University of Waterloo. And then Saturday, we're going to have CLOL, League of Legends, once again at 3 o'clock. Our double header Saturday then closes up with Rainbow Six Siege at 7. And then we have a little bit of a gap on Thursday, Friday, but the week after that, every single day, you're going to find some live action here on the Saints channel. So if you've not done so already, be sure to follow the channel and follow our Twitter to make sure you get all the updates moving forward into this winter season.
Exactly. If you want to see all these games, you know, just keep your eyes out on Saints Gaming CA for our Twitter, as well as our Twitch. You know, it's been myself, Seymour, alongside Danners, bringing you this action tonight. A huge thank you to our sponsors, St. Clair Alumni Association, PC Outlet, St. Clair College, Zekelman School of Business, as well, Tim Hortons, and St. Clair SRC, you know, helping us put this together and make sure that it runs as smooth as it does. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for the Overwatch today. St. Clair going 2-4 on the night. And I hope you guys had a good time, because I did. I'm sure Danners did too.
Absolutely.
So I hope you all have a great night now off stream, and take care for the returning St. Clair streams.